Hey, welcome back to part 2 of Be Do Have. If you haven't yet watched video number 1, go back, watch it now. I'm waiting for you when you come back. Hey, Mike Blissett here, founder of Speak Like a Pro Online, and welcome. We are in part 2 of Be Do Have, your opportunity to start looking at what you want to achieve in your life, in your business, in your health, in your finances, all the good stuff in your life in 2019. So we're just going to start with doing a bit of a recap with number 1. I'm just going to go over to the slides now, and you can see that step 1 was to write down everything that you want to be, do, and have during 2019. So hopefully you have done that and you've finished up with a really big chunky list of everything that we kind of discussed in that first video. Now into step 2. Step 2 is where I want you to write a brief sentence about why you want each of those items that you put on your list. And here's the thing, if you can't write a simple, straightforward, off-the-cuff sentence about why it is that you want each of those things, then maybe it's a good idea now just to cross it off the list. It doesn't mean that it's not worthwhile or that it's not a goal that you should have. It just means that maybe now isn't quite the right time. If you remember, this was my list from a few years ago. I think it was 2012. This isn't the whole list. These are kind of selected highlights. There was a lot more that I packed into my list. When I do this myself, I mentioned in the previous video, as I do with my clients as well, and this is an ongoing exercise we work over a few sessions to develop, and that's why I'm splitting this into several videos with you as well. And so, this is just a selection. So these are some of the items that I crossed off. So this is step 3, and step 3 is where I want you to make a list of the most important areas of your life. And just to give you an idea, these are some of the areas that I have, and also that I've also noticed that other people I work with, both clients, individual clients, and also groups of people when I'm coaching, training in companies. These are kind of areas that many people have. They don't all have the same areas. As I say, these are just to let you know of some of the areas that many people bring to an exercise such as this. So step 4 is to look at each item from your be, do, and have list and ask, will achieving this improve my life areas? And then tick each one that does. So with each of the areas that you listed on your be, do, and have list, just think about, will achieving that improve the areas of your life that you just identified in the previous step. So, and then step 5 is for each goal, I want you to expand your why, and particularly consider what it'll bring and how achieving it will benefit your life. So I just mentioned, for example, the Mercedes. I'm fixated on a Mercedes. Actually, at the moment, I'd really like to have an electric car. I'd love to have a Tesla. And it would, it would probably tick that kind of inner geek box in me that likes kind of gadgets and things like technology, but it wouldn't necessarily bring much else to my life, except maybe the feeling that I was being a little bit greener by driving an electric car. But anyway, so I digress. This is my car fixation. So consider what bringing each of those goals would bring to your life. So how achieving it will benefit your life. So go through each of those areas, and again, I'd like you to take a fresh sheet of paper, and at the top write that goal, that probably single word or 1, 2, or 3 words of that thing you want to achieve or you be, do, and have in 2019, and just write a longer piece. Expand on your why. Because here's the thing, if you can't necessarily expand on it, again, it's no judgment on that goal. Maybe it just needs to cook a little bit longer. But this is where the 2, 3, 4, 5 goals that you can expand on, that you do have a bigger why. Now, okay, that's where it gets interesting, because what we're looking at there is ultimately your motivation to follow through and do the work to actually make these things happen in 2019, because you've got a big enough why, if that makes sense. So step 6, and this is to watch out for the next part of this video exercise. So hopefully you have been following the steps that I've been running through in this video. In the next video, we'll be bringing it all together so that you start to see how you can plan what you want to achieve in 2019. So you take your B's, do's, and your haves, and you actually start to plan how they can actually become your reality, part of your success in 2019. And as I mentioned in the previous video, I will also mention at the end of the next exercise, if you want to book a one-on-one call with me, just a one-off one-on-one call, I'll mention that right at the end of the next video. So hopefully you've got enough today. I think I've given you quite a lot of work. Just to say, if you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook or wherever it is on the website, if you enjoyed this, found it valuable, please click the like button, share it with your mates, buddies, pals, friends and family, people you think would find this useful as well. And if you're watching it on YouTube and you haven't yet hit that subscribe button on the channel, please do that. So I shall see you in a couple of days. Take care.